guys, what's going on? It's your boy Bowser Jr. Fan 13, and welcome back to another Top 10. It's been a while since we've done one of this, and for today's topic, we're going to be talking about my Top 10 Five Nights at Freddy's Animatronics. Now, you guys should know one thing, that I am a huge FNAF fan. Like, despite me not liking to play the games because I'm too scared, I mean, I still love the games regardless for its lore and its interesting horror aesthetic and like the directions that it takes, but of course I also love its characters, especially the animatronics. But out of every animatronic in the FNAF series, which one to me stands out like the most, and who are my most favorites? Well, you're here to find out. Only rules that will be in this top 10 is that I am aware that there are like literally multiple variations of each different animatronic. So for the main top 10 entries, we're only including one variant per entry, and then we could just count as many variants as we want in the honorable mentions. But yeah, aside from that, without further ado, let's get into this action, shall we? Okay, so number 10 is kind of a little bit controversial, but you know what? I don't care. Balloon Boy. Yeah, that's right, FNAF fanbase. I said it, Balloon Boy. You got a problem with that? Anyways, why exactly do I like Balloon Boy? Well, simple. I really like his design. He looks so freaking adorable and cute. Like, it reminds me a little bit of the villager from Animal Crossing. And as much as I love his other variants, Phantom BB and Nightmare BB, I feel like the OG classic Balloon Boy to me is like the most special. And of course, because he has one of the most coolest, unique mechanics back in FNAF 2. I mean, yeah, people found him annoying because of those mechanics, but it works. He's basically one of the animatronics where you have to fool with him, the Freddy Fazbear mask, but if you don't fool him in time, then basically, well, he's gonna sneak into your office and then he'll steal your flashlight batteries, which will, of course, run you the risk of getting killed by a Withered Foxy. But, like, I'm surprised that this animatronic is, like, the only one that doesn't kill you, but just screws you over by another animatronic. And not to mention the fact that he's the first human animatronic created. Well, not in terms of the story, but, like, in terms of the series, like, because most of the animatronics before Sister Location were all animals, and now Balloon Boy is like one of the only human characters. Like, think about it. But still, he's pretty cool.
Hello. Hi.
Number 9, Withered Bonnie. Bonnie the Bunny is one of the most iconic animatronics of all time, and of course, let's be honest, if it wasn't for this character, well, we wouldn't really have FNAF, because, I mean, Bonnie did give Scott nightmares before he made the series, so yeah. But anyways, like I said, Withered Bonnie is, like, my favorite Bonnie variant out of all of them, because, well, first off, the design looks incredibly creepy from a horror perspective. I mean, he's all broken up, like he's lost his arm, and not to mention he's also missing his face, and all you can see is a bunch of wires and a piece of his endoskeleton, like with red eyes just poking out, staring deep into your soul. Like, that screams terrifying, and I would not want this animatronic near me, believe me. Also, in Ultimate Custom Night, I do like his voice. I mean, sure, it's a little weird to hear because of the glitching sound effects being a little annoying, but I think it fits Bonnie well. Like, if you don't have the glitching sounds, it does fit Bonnie, but since he's broken, I mean, it would fit him, and I love the face puns that he makes.
Might as well face the facts. You were always destined to fail.
Speaking of bunnies, here's number 8's entry, Springtrap, aka William Afton. Alright, I think Springtrap is by far one of the most iconic animatronics, especially when it comes to leading into the lore and story. Now, getting into like his little origins, he was originally a bunny by the name of Spring Monty, created by William Afton and Henry Emily when they opened Fredbear's Family Diner. Not to mention that William would use this suit to basically kill children, and that's how it got into his murderous spree. But after the whole, like, Springlock incident, when he got chased down by the 5 souls of the innocent children, Afton basically got screwed over by his own suit and basically got killed and now possesses the one and only Springtrap. I feel like Springtrap is hands down one of the most coolest villain characters, especially because he's possessed by the literal villain of the whole franchise. As an antagonist of FNAF 3, I'd say, like, he is, like, very unique. I mean, he's probably, in my opinion, one of the most hardest animatronics to deal with. I mean, personally, I haven't played FNAF 3 that much, and I don't really understand his gameplay mechanics, but all I can say is that, man, he is probably one of the most unique animatronics out there. And plus, like, he's the only one in that game that kills you, and it's so surprising that he keeps on coming back in each FNAF game to kill you. But hey, it's like he says,
I always come back.
Number 7, Ballora. I'm not gonna lie, when looking at Ballora, like, from a design perspective, like, she, to me, is honestly one of the most beautiful looking animatronics throughout the entire Five Nights at Freddy's series. And, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, there was, like, an anime version of her, like, in that, FNAF AU, Five Nights in Anime. I'm not gonna lie, that version of her looks so sexy and hot as hell, like... But I'm getting ahead of myself. Like, one of the reasons why she's one of my favorite animatronics is that she has, like, a whole bunch of theories surrounding her. Well, one of the most biggest theories, of course, is her being, like, either possessed or related to Mrs. Afton, William's wife. Now, I did say I was gonna go through a FNAF retrospective, but even though I was gonna save this for the whole retrospective, I just want to point this out that Ballora is not Mrs. Afton. She was designed after her. William designed her, like, to, like, have, like, some sort of memory of his wife who left him, like, a long time ago. But still, I consider it to be, like, a pretty unique design. Especially, like, when you have a man who is, like, gone to madness designing a robot based after your loved one. That is, like, pretty insane. But it's not just Ballora that's designed after his loved ones. We'll get to the next one afterwards, but I gotta say, she's a pretty unique animatronic, a ballerina, pretty cool, and her music box is so like, well, beautiful to listen to.
Why do you hide inside these walls?
Number 6, Nightmare Fredbear. You know, it's always, like, very mysterious to me, like, when I was getting into Five Nights at Freddy's, I've been hearing about Fredbear's Family Diner, the first FNAF restaurant. Like, this was, like, around the FNAF 1 and 2 and 3 theories, like, before FNAF 4 came out. And I've always been wondering to myself, who is Fredbear? And when he got revealed for FNAF 4, well, Nightmare Fredbear to be more specific, like, it's honestly shocking because we all thought that it was Golden Freddy, but, well, you'd be wrong because, oh my goodness, I was just amazed to see that Golden Freddy was originally Fredbear. Like, it was one of the coolest mysteries. But Nightmare Fredbear, I gotta say, he, out of all the Nightmare animatronics, is the most terrifying and most scary looking that I have ever seen. Like, geez, like, I can't express how much this animatronic would give you so much, like, nightmares, like, just from looking at it. Not to mention, like, its game mechanics in FNAF 4 and Ultimate Custom Night is pretty unique, and he's probably one of the most toughest animatronics to go up against. And, of course, in Ultimate Custom Night, I also love the voice that they gave Nightmare Fredbear. It is insanely creepy and just terrifying. Now, remind me to never go to Fredbear's Family Diner if this guy is around.
Let me put you back together, then take you apart all over again.
Number 5, Circus Baby, aka Elizabeth Afton. Poor Elizabeth Afton. How I wish that you did not meet your demise. Baby, of course, is one of the main villains of FNAF's sister location. I mean, she's probably a twist villain because, I mean, think about it. She's one of the only animatronics that does not go after you, like, at all. And she's guiding the player, giving them advice, and gaining their trust. Only for, in the end, to get backstabbed by her when she becomes entered, and then eventually becoming Scrap Baby in the next installment, but that's besides the point. I think, in my honest opinion, when first looking at Baby, she was very creepy and mysterious. Like, she was giving me, like, all sorts of bad vibes, and the whole story behind her, involving her and Elizabeth's, like, death, it was, like, pretty insane, but all I can say is that Baby is one of the most unique animatronics that I've ever seen, and probably my personal favorite in Sister Location. Although she's not much of a threat and she doesn't jump scare you at all in the game, it's not until like Ultimate Custom Night and FNAF VR like that would be the case, but still. I wish she'd gotten a bigger role in that game, but I digress.
Want to see the scooping room?
Number 4, Toy Chica. I can see why Chica is a fan favorite, but more specifically, Toy Chica is a really, really big fan favorite from what I can tell. Alright, so she's one of the new animatronics replacing the original Chica in FNAF 2, and she's one of the toy animatronics designed with facial recognition software, which I gotta say is pretty unique and interesting because you got all the other animatronics being possessed by souls and stuff, and then you got these ones who are basically like security animatronics, kind of like some of the other ones in other games, but still. What makes Toy Chica pretty unique to me is, I'm not gonna lie, her character was pretty wild. Like, from what you could describe her, she's basically your typical yandere, insane, creepy, lovable, like loving appeal character. Like, she's like, you could tell that she's a yandere, especially like in her voice lines in Ultimate Custom Night and FNAF AR, and especially in FNAF, like there was in FNAF Ultimate Custom Night, there was like a side cut scene called Toy Chica's high school years, where she's basically like being a yandere schoolgirl, basically trying to get herself a boyfriend, but she's actually taking each of the animatronics' body parts. Like, I gotta say, the story behind that was just insane, and it was leading to some theories surrounding the deaths of the children, how William Afton was able to get his victims. Like, that was like a pretty insane theory. Like, I did not think about that. But either way, Toy Chica is also one of the most unique looking characters. Like, I'm not gonna lie, people have a serious crush on this character, and they have a crush on her so much to the point where not only there's a lot of videos surrounding her, there's also a lot of fan art, and especially this one fan art surrounding this one version of her that was made by some fans called Love Taste Toy Chica, which basically is like a remodeled version of Toy Chica without her beak, only to look a little sexier. I'm not gonna lie, I have two responses to that. One, okay, it's something. That design is pretty cool, not gonna lie. And two, you guys are nasty, FNAF fan base. Like, really?
You won't get tired of my voice, will you?
Number 3, Glam Rock Freddy. Out of all the Glam Rock animatronics in the Five Nights at Freddy's series, or out of all the Freddy variants in Five Nights at Freddy's in general, to me, I'm just gonna say this, Glam Rock Freddy is probably my most favorite Freddy, because he, out of all the Freddys, is like super unique. I mean, despite being one of the most recent versions of this character, he's very unique because of his wonderful personality, the stories behind him, and he's just a really lovable character. Alright, so debuting in FNAF's Security Breach, he is the only animatronic that does not go after you and does not kill you. Well, unless he's being taken control of by Afton or if he runs out of battery, but it doesn't really matter, or if you mess up his maintenance and stuff. But what I'm trying to say is that he's the only animatronic that does not try to kill you, the player, or Gregory to be more specific, because he spends most of his entire time trying to protect Gregory from his own friends. Like, even though he doesn't want to fight his friends, he is aware that they have gone evil and they are hunting a child down. And I guess Freddy is probably one of the most noble animatronics out there who wouldn't resort to going after a child, and I gotta commend him for that. I mean, there were also theories that the reason why he is like this is because he's possessed by the soul of Michael Afton, which, I don't know, it's kind of hard to believe, but I guess I could believe it, but I still refuse to believe that Crying Child or Evan is supposed to be Gregory. Like, there's no way you can convince me otherwise. Like, I don't care about that theory, but what I'm trying to say is that Glamrock Freddy is like such a nice guy. He's such a lovable character. Not to mention the fact I love his interactions and his bonds that he shares with Gregory. Because seriously, like the way he treats Gregory, like he treats him like a really close friend and sort of like a father figure. It's so beautiful and so lovely and so amazing too. Like Glamrock Freddy, I'd be friends with him any day.
Way to go, superstar! I knew you could do it.
Number 2, the Marionette, aka the Puppet. Alright, so the Puppet was the animatronic that debuted in FNAF 2, and it has had a pretty good fan base. Not only was it one of the most creepy and the most mysterious animatronics out there, but I gotta say, like, things that were surrounding this character was insane, especially the theories and the story behind it. So this character was possessed by Charlie, or Charlotte Emily, the daughter of Henry, who died at the hands of William Afton. That was probably his first victim that he got. But either way, after possessing the puppet, she now also possessed the power to give life to things. She took the souls of the children that died at the hands of William, and she basically put them inside the animatronics to bring them back to life. And she spent the rest of her days not only trying to stop William Afton and his murderous continuous killing spree, but she's also been spending the rest of her life protecting the other characters, as shown in Ultimate Custom Night, how she talks about that the others are under her protection, and that she doesn't hate Afton, but she doesn't want him to continue doing this crazy insane stuff, and she'll stop him at any time. She's not bent on revenge like this one other character that we'll talk about in the retrospective, but still, she's probably one of the most unique characters out there. The puppet, overall, the puppet is just pretty cool.
I recognize you, but I'm not afraid of you. Not anymore.
Alright, so before we get into my number 1 pick on the list, as always and as usual, here are the Bowser Jr. Fan 13 Honorable Mentions. Grim Foxy, one of the coolest Foxy variants that I have ever seen. He's kind of like Jacko Bonnie and Jacko Chica, only he's not made out of a pumpkin or something like that. He's kind of like a Grim Reaper. You could see the way he teleports with fire surrounding him, and the way he hunts you down in FNAF VR. It's insanely creepy and so cool. Nightmare. Another variant of Nightmare Fredbear, only it's, more dark and shadowy and mysterious, and more insane and creepy. He is the literal definition of nightmares. Do not go to sleep if this guy is around, because you will not sleep or survive. Nightmare Freddy. Probably another one of my favorite Freddy variants. What I like about Nightmare Freddy is, like, not only is he one of the creepiest looking Freddys and one of the most scary looking, I love how he also has little mini Freddys, like the Freddles, that basically act as his little minions to do his, like, little biddings to, like, help creep you out. Like, it is pretty cool. Mangle. Originally, the beta or the, like, prototype version of Funtime Foxy from Sister Location, and sort of like a more friendlier version of Foxy that's kind of like a female. This one has gone through a lot of problems. Like, kids were constantly tearing this thing up. They were, like, basically breaking it piece by piece and basically making it all look all messed up and stuff because they just can't keep their hands to themselves. And I can see why it caused the bite of 87, because I would be mad, especially the workers, like, refusing to rebuild me. Withered Foxy. Probably one of the coolest Foxy variants, aside from Grim Foxy that I mentioned before. What I like about Withered Foxy is that he's one of the smartest animatronics. Like, he's the only one who's not fooled by the mask, especially the puppet. Though it is kind of sad that he can't really do anything, because he's, like, being constantly flashed by the flashlight. But it is cool to know that he's got Balloon Boy behind his back to, like, help him out. Funtime Chica. The only Funtime animatronic who was, like, not in Sister Location, which was kind of sad. And honestly, I wish we could see more of this animatronic, because she's honestly one of the most pretty looking animatronics out there. And I love that cool movie star diva personality that Scott gave her. Mr. Hippo. This guy is basically your typical grandpa, like, because in Ultimate Custom Night, you guys know what he's very well known for. Constantly rambling on and on and on and on. Like, it's so crazy, but at the same time, I love looking at, like, listening to this dude's stories, because they're just, sometimes they're very funny, but other times they're, like, very interesting to, like, listen, because even though I don't really like to listen to very long, boring stories by some elders, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, old people do have great stories, especially Mr. Hippo. It's just, I don't know, but something about Mr. Hippo just makes it even more entertaining. The original OG Freddy Fazbear. Yeah, boy, Freddy is hands down one of the coolest animatronics, without a doubt. Like, everybody loves Freddy Fazbear, especially the original. Nightmare Marionette. Basically, it's the puppet, except instead of being the friendlier, life-giving animatronic that it was designed to be, the Nightmare variant is more of a one that takes your life away and makes you live in an endless nightmare. So you better watch yourself, William Afton. Golden Freddy. One of the most mysterious animatronics that I have ever seen. Like, this dude has a lot of theories surrounding him, whether if he's real or just a hallucination. But the fact that it's also possessed by Cassidy, the one that's so pent on revenge for being killed by William Afton, is just even more insane. Roxanne Wolf. I can honestly see why this character is a fan favorite. Like, everybody at this point loves Roxanne, and I'm not gonna lie, she's a pretty unique and interesting character, and that personality of hers is just, my goodness. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, and now we are finally at my #1 most favorite Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic. Now, which one deserves the top spot? Well, I have to give it to the one and only animatronic that is well deserving on this list. #1, Foxy the Pirate Fox. I mean, what can I say? Foxy is definitely a fan favorite. Like, at this point, if you've seen a lot of FNAF fan animations or videos or theories or whatever you can see or any fan art, Foxy is the one animatronic that gets used a lot, and people just love this character, especially me. Being, of course, one of the original animatronics from the Freddy Fazbear restaurant, he was also one of the animatronics that got possessed by the 5 children of the missing children's incident. And I really like his design. Like, I mean, being based off of a pirate and a fox, like, just looks pretty cool. And like the way he's also designed, like the whole joke about this animatronic being out of order, I mean, I could kind of see why, because Like, looking at the way it was designed, I could guarantee, like, it was probably, like, I don't know, like, dysfunctional or something like that, but either way, it's pretty insane. I love his personality, and especially the voice actor that they gave him in Ultimate Custom Night, VR, and AR. Like, it's probably hands down the best Foxy voice actor I have ever heard. I hope this guy gets chosen to voice Foxy once again in the upcoming FNAF movie, because I would be so happy to see that. Not to mention that Foxy is also one of the fastest animatronics. Like, you can definitely see it in FNAF 1, like the way he runs down your hall and you have to be quick before he gets you. Like, pretty insane. But either way, I consider Foxy like a very well recognizable animatronic. He's just so cool. And yeah, Foxy is hands down my #1 favorite FNAF animatronic of all time.
Never underestimate the cunning of a pirate. Or a fox, for that matter.
And that's all we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. So what did you think of my list? Did you all agree? Do you all disagree? What's your favorite Five Nights at Freddy's game? And let me know in the comments who is your favorite Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace out, everyone.